There's a lot of baggage that comes with being the former pupil of one of the galaxy's most feared villains before he broke bad. The Ahsoka trailer might hint that Anakin isn't the only past relationship she might regret, as a former friend turned rival may have gotten a new gig. Aside from telling the stories from the battle between the Old Republic and the Separatists fought between clones and droids, the Clone Wars-filled series filled in the gaps between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, where it became less and less clear that the Republic and the Jedi were on the side of good, or if in fact there was a good side.
Am I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
The end of the prequels tells us that Palpatine manipulated a civil war within the Republic to create a security crisis that would cause the Republic to give him emergency powers and restructure it into a galactic empire. But the real story of the Clone Wars is the journey of wide-eyed Jedi Padawan Ahsoka Tano getting a front-row seat to the corruption of the Chosen One. By the 5th season, Ahsoka has had enough of the Jedi, the Separatists, the whole deal. She was already ahead of what took her former master's son a lifetime to figure out. The Jedi Order was not balanced. The new trailer for the live-action Ahsoka series revolves around the return of an epic-grade baddie worthy of Grand Moff Tarkin himself in the form of Thrawn. But it's Thrawn's muscle that hints at a more personal connection. Over the course of Rebels, which covers the time between the formation of the Galactic Empire and the rise of the Rebellion, we were introduced to Inquisitors. These were Force-sensitive soldiers under the direct command of Darth Vader and made up of disgruntled former Jedi students, and given the task of hunting down any Jedi that escaped Order 66. Presumably, the Inquisitors died off or were disbanded by the time A New Hope comes around. This frees Darth Vader up to check on Tarkin and his military council on the Death Star. As far as all those guys know, Darth Vader has been playing weird dress-up and scouring the galaxy for cultists. That is, until Darth Vader found their lack of faith disturbing. Ahsoka takes place during the New Republic after the fall of the Empire, but before the rise of the First Order. In the trailer, we see someone sporting a Telltale Inquisitor double saber wearing a full helmet. Full helmet is a bit like Chekhov's gun. If you've hidden the identity, that identity is probably pretty important, and that all points to a pretty important person in Ahsoka's past who is not named Skywalker, Barris Offee. Barris Offee and Ahsoka started off as friends and fellow Padawans, but over time, Offee began to sour on the Jedi. Offee was big on reading old Jedi text, and was having a hard time reconciling the Jedi's role in the war with the origins of the Jedi Order. After becoming a Jedi Knight, she met Letta Turmund, who agreed that the Jedi had lost their way. They then launched a pretty horrifying plan to make that point. Feed explosive nanobots to Turmund's husband and set them off in a Jedi temple. Chances are that wasn't in the old Jedi text either. Offee would go on to take out Turmund so that she wouldn't be connected to the explosion, and then, while pretending to help Ahsoka discover the people behind the bombing, framed Ahsoka. Turmund led Ahsoka straight to the place where the explosives were made and then dropped a dime on her former friend, resulting in Tano's arrest. Anakin was able to prove Ahsoka's innocence by forcing Offee into defending herself with the lightsaber she stole to silence her partner, but the damage had been done. Ahsoka soured on the Jedi and the Republic in general and walked away from everything. For her part, Offee was put in custody under the supervision of the Jedi Temple guards, including the one who went on to become the Grand Inquisitor. That connection might be our clue as to what's happened to Offee since then. Her final appearance was being arrested, with nothing to indicate what happened to her afterward. Her problem with the Jedi was that they were becoming Sith-like, almost as she was very close to actually understanding Palpatine's plan. That might mean that she'd be just as reluctant to be part of the Sith as she was the Jedi. Instead, this might be a bit of the old meet the new boss, same as the old boss. In our glimpses of the New Republic before the sequels, we see a Republic that's not exactly sure of its direction, or what to do with the population after a civil war, and the difficulty of going from enemies back to fellow citizens. If she sat out of the conflict only to see Anakin's kid hang up a shingle for the Jedi Order and potentially wander down the same path as the Jedi before them, she might be easier to recruit into an Inquisitor-esque role, putting her back in the path of the friend she betrayed all those years before. Another theory leans on A Jedi's Duty, from Stories of the Jedi and Sith, which features a story about Offee that implies that Palpatine himself was influencing the former Jedi, thus recruiting her for Inquisitor duty. The biggest hint comes from Clone Wars and Ahsoka showrunner Dave Filoni. According to Filoni, the original script had Offee blowing up her own cell in a final act of defiance, but he changed it because he had plans for the character. 10 years later, we might be about to learn what those plans were. We learned that Ahsoka and Luke know each other, and she knew his father better than anyone else still alive. That has to be a little awkward to tell stories of Luke's dad to Luke when they know those stories and with him bringing the galaxy to its knees.
That does it. I'm out of here.